This weekend, Bournemouth sees the return of Eddie Howe as the Cherries entertain Newcastle United. Bournemouth, we're on a roll right now, but can they continue their majestic Premier League form against the Mags? Well, look, we're all hoping that they'll be knackered and shattered after their showdown against Barca in the Champions League. But regardless of that, the Cherries at the moment, they're showing some real quality, and wouldn't it be nice to pick up another 3 points? My name's Sam Davis.
My name's Tom Jordan.
Big game on Sunday, mate. Huge.
It is, and it's a strange one because I think most people would normally tip, well, Newcastle should be going there and winning. We know that the record doesn't seem to suggest that, with Eddie coming here, never beaten us here since he's been a Newcastle manager. And also, the start of the season we've had, the fact that they've played midweek, suddenly now I think this is one of them that I think a lot of people would, on the old coupons, they'd be staying away from this game. Really hard one to predict, mate, but always a good game against Newcastle.
Always is. This is part 1 of 2 of our Bournemouth versus Newcastle preview content. If you're listening via the pod, don't worry, stay on the same bit of audio because we'll have that coming up. And we'll be talking in the next part about all things Newcastle. So if you're watching on YouTube, there are a couple of things you can do to get notified about that video.
Yeah, if you click that little bell thing, it'll tell you when that video is out. So that's easy. While you're there, click a like on this one to say thank you, and then click the subscribe one because that is the most important one.
So it's a big weekend for Cherries fans. It's a big weekend for one Cherries fan in particular. You probably want me to tell you who that is. Well, I'm going to tease it. Here's what's coming up on today's Bournemouth briefing. So yeah, there's a big Bournemouth birthday incoming this weekend. Someone who is a huge figure at the football club. Who is it? We'll tell you shortly. But also we've got some big news. Big news for him, big news for the channel coming up. Also, the media have been purring over the Cherries' dream start to the season. We will see what others have been saying about us in our media watch. There are changes for the women's team as Helen Bleazard takes up the role as head coach, and plus there's a new head of women's football too. There's more player movement for the Chairs. Another player goes out on loan. What on earth is the thinking behind this one? Plus, of course, the big match build-up as we go through the essential stats and facts surrounding Bournemouth's showdown with the Mags before we predict the Cherries side. So, it's a big weekend, like we say, for Bournemouth. A big weekend for someone else, mate. Do you know who?
No, go on.
Jeff Mostyn.
Oh, God, you've already named 2 legends at the start of the show. Brilliant. Yeah, it is a big one for Jeff, isn't it?
Yeah, do you know why?
Go on.
He doesn't look it. You chat to him, you think he's like 21, 22. He's 80 years old. It's Jeff Mostyn, former chairman of the club, who on Sunday is going to be celebrating. Now, I know it's his birthday that day, so whether he's going to be at the club or not, or maybe he's got his own party arranged, we don't know. But of course, this was switched relatively late from a Saturday to a Sunday, so we don't quite know yet. But
did he have a word, do you reckon? Did he went, look, Eddie and the boys coming back?
Maybe.
Some of my mates, I was going to try to sort out a party anyway. Can you just move the fixture for us? But 80, doesn't look 80.
80 years old, and my God, there are some memories with him and AFC Bournemouth. It's entwined, isn't it? And we've got some big news for the channel because, well, firstly, let's talk about something. He's releasing a book.
Yes, yes.
The Chairman, the man who saved AFC Bournemouth, and that is going to be out at the end of October. And you'll be able to see from one of our tweets that we'll pin that Cherries fans are invited to an evening with Jeff at Bournemouth University. I think that's on the 11th of November between 6 and 9. We're encouraging as many Cherries as we can to get down there. It is limited places. I think about 200, but you can get your ticket free by going to the link that we've also popped in the description as well. But writing a book about all things Cherries, and big news, Tom, he's going to be talking to us on Back of the Net.
You lucky lad, Jeff. Everything that he's achieved in football, and now he's finally hit the pinnacle, hasn't he?
Finally he's there. He's, saved a football club.
Yeah.
He's done all this kind of stuff, but now
he's on Back of the Net.
Appearing on Back of the Net.
It's like when you have all them like actors and stuff that just have big careers and big films, but then eventually they do get Strictly. Do you know what I mean? They get there in the end. So yeah, you're welcome, Jeff. No, I'm really looking forward to seeing him.
Well, with Bournemouth's rise from League Two to the Premier League, I'm sure there are a lot of stories to tell, but also I'm sure a lot of you have some questions. So if you want us to put anything to Jeff, you can email fans@afcbpodcast.com, or if you want to do it anonymously, if you want to, you can also go to afcbpodcast.com/feedback and fill in the form there. Can't wait to have him on Back of the Net. That's going to be happening next month. Huge news for us, but even bigger news for him, eh? Before we move on, we are at the courtroom at the Queen's Park, the spiritual home of AFC Bournemouth fans on a match day, and it's got the cheapest pint around, but it's also got something else when you switch the TV on now, isn't it?
Oh yeah, a little cheeky bit of TNT.
TNT Sports.
Lovely.
Happy days. So that means it's the Merseyside derby happening on Saturday lunchtime. Liverpool versus Everton. They've been showing the Champions League during the week as well. There's been some phenomenal matches so far. I mean, why do Liverpool always do it last minute?
It's unbelievable, isn't it? It is unbelievable. It's getting to a point now where you just go, there's something in that. Do you know what I mean? Fair play. Fair play.
Mentality monsters. But not only that, if you arrive at 11, that's when it opens. There's going to be a film crew from Guinness roaming around the pub, so you might be able to get yourself on TV as well. That's courtesy of the Premier League. So make sure you get here on Sunday to enjoy all the pre-match stuff. I think pints start from about £4 as well. There's going to be a raffle too. Well done to Simon Seaby, who won the last time. There is a
win, did he?
Oh, mate, always a winner. And look, there's a rollover as well. So big money to be won. Get yourself down to the QP. So what happens when Bournemouth start playing well? The media start talking about us. Do you like it when they start talking about us? I feel a little bit uncomfortable because I know that they're going to be looking at people like Andoni.
Yeah, I feel like I'm always a bit of a hypocrite with it because when you hear nothing, you go, oh yeah, little Bournemouth don't get spoken about. Oh yeah. And as soon as they start speaking, I go, all right. Like, get me under the radar again. But yeah, and I think what obviously always coincides with that is if a big team are struggling, as Man United is a good example. And then it's more, I think a lot of their fans will see the way we play football and go, God, just go and get Andoni. But I don't think there's anything in it, hopefully. I think, I don't know, I'd be very surprised if Amran keeps his job, but I'd still be surprised, which I find surprising in itself, that if Andoni was their number one target. I just don't think he would be.
You'd think it'd be someone maybe like a Pochettino or someone like that.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I even think for the Premier League, I think that these big clubs will go Glasner first.
Yeah.
I do, just because he's, just because of his bit more of a higher clubs beforehand, hadn't he? So yeah, I don't know, but maybe I'm just being a bit hopeful, mate.
Well, look, people are noticing us. Mark Douglas wrote in the iPaper that Bournemouth do intend to step up contract talks with Andoni Iraola over the next month, with the club keen to retain a manager that they believe is one of the best in the Premier League. It goes on to talk about the fact that we sold more than £200 million worth of talent in the close season, but there was never a chance of the brilliant Basque boss following them out of the door after he pledged his commitment earlier in the spring. What is going on outside?
There's a lot of beeping going on.
Lots of horns going on.
I don't know.
Do they know that we're in town?
Yeah, I don't really know what's going on.
Hang on, what is actually going on?
Yeah, there's absolute chaos here. Right, sounds good, check it out. Absolute carnage. Stop now, you've got up.
It's stopped now.
Look at that bit of aura there.
Come on.
Like that.
Come on, we're trying to record here.
God, yeah, I know. It's going to be... I'm still, in my head, we've got that next international break soon, haven't we? I reckon new contract.
I hope so. That would be really nice. And it's not just them that have noticed it, even on the Premier League's website as well. It's got an article dedicated to questioning how Bournemouth have made their best start despite the summer sales. And there are some key points in it. Strong start, of course, scoring early and grabbing the initiative. And that's a huge point, isn't it? Because we have scored early in a number of games this season.
Yeah, what was it? Tav was a few minutes in, Evan Ilson as well against Tottenham. Even Scott, I mean, it's still relatively early, isn't it? Was it like 15, 20 minutes? So, yeah, I think, and we've said that so many times, we always start fast. It's just getting that goal.
Yeah.
And then we've got something to hang on to, but also it means the other team comes out even more and it suits us. So, yeah, the early goal was definitely key.
And also the tactical identity and pressing. It talks about the team largely, of course, as we know, using a 4-2-3-1 formation, but there's consistency in how we play, including the high work rate off the ball, aggressive passing, the turnover stats and recovery of possession. Those statistics are all very strong. And also the fact that we make a lot of direct attacks as well, being among the top teams in press sequences. Also talking about the coping of player departures, plus the scouting and the recruitment philosophy. Check out that article on the Premier League website. It is all worth it. But it's fair to say we are talk of the town, and maybe if we get a result on Sunday, we'll be talk of the tune as well.
Well played, well played.
And also one other piece that we've noticed from HITC, and this is a YouTube video, how Bournemouth quietly became brilliant. I don't know if you've seen this video, have you?
No, I haven't.
It's got a history of the club, and it's been viewed by thousands of people already, but it's a really good overview over what we've done over the course of our history, but also it focuses on the last few years as well, specifically on our recruitment, saying that now we're a top half team who've raised over 250 million in player sales. They've just moved into their state-of-the-art new academy ground and, of course, plans to majorly renovate the stadium. They actually take a look at the less discussed rise of Bournemouth in comparison to, say, Brentford and Brighton, and how a historic fourth-tier team became European contenders. And he's kind of right in that we've always been relatively under the radar until now, it seems, when compared to, say, your Brightons and your Brentfords.
Yeah, I think definitely. And I think also the reason it's probably ramping up a little bit is because everyone looked at the sales and went, oh, Bournemouth are taking a risk here. They're losing their old defence, blah, blah, blah. So I think no one expected it as much.
Yeah.
So I think it's just ramped up a little bit. But yeah, you're right. We always talk about Brentford and Brighton, but Bournemouth, let's put them in there as well, because we're, mind the gap, them too. Jesus.
In other news, AFC Bournemouth women all changed there as well. Well, it kind of changed. There's been a position confirmed, and that is that Helen Bleasard, she's taken up the role as head coach of the women's first team until the end of the season.
Yes.
And it's been a bloody good start at the top of the league, mate. They're absolutely smashing it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, including myself, probably thought Helen was coming in to just kind of keep it steady for a bit until they look. But if you start like that, and you want the job, then it's yours, isn't it? And yeah, fair play. Of
course, she's a proven leader both on and off the pitch. The former defender, she was instrumental in the successful 23-24 season campaign, making 17 appearances and scoring 10 goals before injury, unfortunately, of course, brought her season to a premature end. But yeah, she announced her retirement from playing in the summer, and now she's in the dugout until the rest of the season, so it could still be a kind of interim role, but she's been given the permanent position until now. So it'd be interesting to see what happens, not least because Cherries have also announced the appointment of Bruce Sarachi as well as the new head of women's football. This suggests that they're putting a lot of attention into it, mate.
Absolutely. And I think when they're performing like they're performing, mate, then it'd be silly to ignore it, wouldn't it, really? Go and put into it. And I think, I don't know a lot, but I think Bruce has got quite a lot of experience, so I think that'll really help him. It's only positive, isn't it, at the moment with them. At the moment, there's just nothing. I haven't seen anything with the women's team that's slightly negative. So it's just going in one direction. So yeah, you just got to grab it. I think.
He's been a pivotal figure for AFC Bournemouth for over a decade now, and during his 8-year tenure at the club as part of the academy, he played a crucial role in preparing coaches for first team environments and also nurturing talent across all levels of coaching and the player pathway. So fair play, it's looking good for them. And it's worth just noting, by the way, that on Wednesday 29th of October at 7:45pm, the women are playing under the lights. I think that's half term as well, so a chance to get your kids there as well. You'll be able to get your tickets soon, if not already, on afcb.co.uk. And also, you get one of those crucial loyalty points as well, so make sure you get one of them. Come on. Also, player movement. Dominic Sadie, mate, he is joined.
Who's he joined, mate? Well,
I can't pronounce.
Go on, give it a go.
FK Novi Pazar. Oh, it wasn't that bad to pronounce.
Yeah, good side.
They're in Serbia. And they are in the Superliga there. They currently sit 5th in the top flight, and they're from, southwest Serbia, and they've won 3 and drawn 2 of their early season fixtures. Again, another one of these moves. I'm thinking, what a random club to go to, but is there reason for that?
Yeah, I know. I keep thinking that. It was similar to HIUGE, wasn't it, when he went to, was it Rijeka in Croatia? A few weird ones. I still think the Paulson one was weird as well, wasn't it? Yeah. Dansk or whatever in Poland. And so, a few strange ones, but we'll see. And hope it'd be good for him to go and play it and, go and play somewhere else in Europe. And I've always liked him every time I've seen him. Every time he's played, I've always think he's always been one of the better players every time I've watched the development side as well.
Probably easier to get to than Carlisle, though.
Is it? Yeah. Probably. Actually, I forgot he was at Carlisle. Him and HIUGE again on nice little short trips. Yeah, Croatia and Serbia, happy days.
But one thing we can say is he's got the number 10 shirt that he wanted, so he's certainly happy. And Dominic, we hope you absolutely smash it. So for the Cherries at the weekend, after beating Brighton and making it 3 wins in a row, which represents our best ever start to the league, getting 9 out of 12 points, it's the return of Eddie, JT.
Perchy, Weatherstone, Graham Jones.
They're probably other like Andy Howe. I
think John Howe was there for a bit. Yeah. I don't know. They're all there. They're all there.
What a start to the season it's been, and it's been our best for forever. But you know what? We've won 4 consecutive league games twice before, and that was in December 2023, but also August 2018, of course, under Eddie Howe. The Mags are in town this weekend. It's live on Sky. It's at 2 p.m. And Iraola against Eddie has won 2, drawn 2. So can we keep the run going? Now, Eddie Howe, as much as he loves Bournemouth, he's got a score to settle, right?
He's probably getting to a point where he's going, this is getting ridiculous.
And their fans are probably thinking,
this is just
what's
silly.
Going on here? Conspiracy.
Yeah, there might be a conspiracy if we do it again, I think. But yeah, it is a weird one. We always have good games with them, always quite tight affairs, apart from the one at St James's last season, to be fair. What a game. But yeah, it is a weird one because when I look at Newcastle, they're so good. But is it because of how open they are, how open we are? We just seem to be able to have their number a little bit. Do you think they look at us a little bit like we look at Brentford, say?
Yeah, probably.
They probably do by now. So, yeah.
One thing I was wondering is when you look at the 3 wins that we've had in terms of Wolves, Spurs and Brighton, in terms of openness, I suppose you'd put Wolves at the bottom of that list.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Where do you think Newcastle rank with Brighton and Spurs?
In between, probably... I would say more open than Brighton at times.
Yeah.
But not so much as Spurs maybe. And yeah, look how fast they start, we need to be aware of that. So yeah, and don't get me wrong, they're a lot stronger defensively than they were when we went through the door. They've got some really good defenders. So it'll be a difficult game. And I think that midfield battle will be interesting as well. Obviously, it remains to be seen what happens after Barcelona. So, how they kind of shape up. But yeah, he has definitely got to be getting to the point where he goes, I've got to beat him at some point.
But Andoni equally must be licking his lips at this one. Can you remember the last time they played here, mate? I mean...
It was 1-1, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I presume you remember who scored, who equalised, who nearly scored again.
Tav scored, Anthony Gordon.
Yeah.
And Dango apparently handballed it in.
Yeah.
I can't believe that game.
No.
It was early in the season, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. It was very early. And
I still can't believe it.
No Newcastle players... management at the time, they weren't contesting that whatsoever.
Still one of the worst decisions I think I've ever seen live.
Still haunts me. And yeah, Dango Ouattara had his fair share of goals disallowed.
He did, yeah, he really did.
Poor fella. Right, let's take a look at the head-to-head between Bournemouth and Newcastle then. In all our home games against Newcastle United, Bournemouth have won 2, drawn 4 and lost 2. One of those, by the way, was back in 1963, if you're probably scratching your head as to when was the other one. In all competitions, though, home and away, Bournemouth have won 6, drawn 8 and lost 7. Bournemouth could win back-to-back league meetings with Newcastle for just the 2nd time in their history. Before that, it was under Eddie in 2017. But we are unbeaten in our last 6 matches against the Magpies. Happy days. Come on. Right, AFC Bournemouth team news then. What is going on? Might see a return for Christie Adikite, do you think?
Yeah, well, I think they'll hopefully both be available, which is important. So they'll both be maybe in the squad. Obviously, we know that Unau's not going to be. I think Smithy's still a little bit further away, isn't he? But apart from that, mate, with Cookie coming back, we seem like we're in a decent spot. A few bumps and bruises as always, but I think we're in a good place, mate.
We certainly are. And look, we're going to come on to the teams very shortly, but I suppose there's a few positional quandaries that we need to think about. So firstly, it all depends who they're going to play up front for Newcastle, but I know that, Walter Marder is a tall guy, but so's Velko.
Oh, so's Milo. Yeah.
So, could that mean that Foden might not come back in? Then I'm thinking, would it be Ryan Christie? Would Alex Scott go in? We have got no idea what we're going to do. And then also right back. Yeah,
exactly. There's a few good headaches, I would say, that Andoni has. And I think obviously a lot of it is probably something that we're not going to know much about in terms of the fitness and the energy levels during the week that might help him. But I think at the moment he did mention it in one of the I can't remember if it was one of the press conferences after a game, he did mention that with the new players that we've got in, it's quite important to have a bit of consistency there.
Yeah.
Obviously that's suddenly changed because of Baffo being out. And then Velka comes in, plays like that.
Yeah.
But some really good headaches, mate. But it's kind of one of them things where I think whatever he plays, you know, you're going to have a strong bench.
Yeah.
Which the last time we played Newcastle, we didn't have that.
Yeah.
That was when a few of them made debuts. I think Remy Rees-Dottin got on, didn't they? Because we fought one up, just having a laugh, and we.
Absolutely obscene. And was that the game where Daniel Jefferson nearly went through and scored a worldie?
Yeah, and he dinked the keeper, didn't he? Oh, Jebelator. That would have been, the dream. But he was like our only senior sub, wasn't he? And Jebbo was unbelievable.
Tom.
There we go.
Do you want to know who the referee is?
No.
I'm going to tell you. It's Rob Jones.
What does that mean?
We had him 4 times last season.
Here we go.
Home against Arsenal.
Oh, hello.
Home against Ipswich Town.
Oh, God.
Away at Fulham.
Yeah, that's right.
But also away at Chelsea.
What was that? The one where he bloody with the wall.
Yeah.
So it kind of goes back because was the home Arsenal, he gave him a red card and he goes penalty, so you think, hello. I think Fulham we had a disallowed goal. James Hill.
Maybe.
And then Chelsea, he's had a bit of controversy, hasn't he, Jonesy?
Yeah.
Switch it on. Fucking sort yourself out.
Right, let's predict the Bournemouth team. So, look, we're going to put it on screen shortly, but interestingly, only Wolves, with 23 players, have used more personnel in the Premier League so far than Bournemouth, who've used 22, though only Nottingham Forest, with 1, have made fewer changes to their starting 11s this term than the Cherries, with 2.
Yeah, it's more the subs, isn't it? The impact of subs and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's obviously working for Wolves as well. Yeah, we'll obviously stick at our 4-2-3-1, mate. The old Petro in goal. I'm actually going to... Because I keep thinking, is he going to change anything? I'm not sure. But I'm going to chuck Jimenez in.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, not that he was awful, but I think obviously Hill got caught a little bit. He's not a natural right back. I think Jimenez had a bit more time in the group. So I'm going to chuck him in there at right back.
I mean, obviously he's got talent to contend with for Newcastle, but it ain't Anthony Gordon.
No, exactly, yeah. Exactly. And yeah, he'll be looking at matchups and bits and bobs, but yeah, I just got a feeling if he's got a natural right back now that he's been with the group for a while, he might go for it. Going to keep Velko in there, I think. It's a difficult one, Lex. Diakite, it's a really, really tough one, but Velko was so good, mate.
Yeah, he was incredible, yeah.
Celeste Hill, obviously, player was also brilliant. And Trofeo at left back. As much as I'm always tempted, obviously Adams is there. Regardless of Lewis Cook's return, because Adams would be brilliant. As much as I want a bit of Christie in there, I think Scott was brilliant. I think he deserves to start.
Okay.
And Tav just slightly in front. And then, yeah, you're going to have to stick with Semenyo, Brooks and Evan Ilson as kind of that front three. So, yeah, strong. I'm just going to put Jimenez in, I think. But, yeah, I hadn't even mentioned Kluivert.
I know.
Who scored a hat-trick last time we played him.
Absolutely.
Do you think anything like that plays into his mind? You know, that thought of the last time we played Newcastle, Kluivert.
Oh, interesting.
Was they couldn't cope with him.
Yeah,
so
and how does it work with Eddie as well? Like, will Eddie be thinking, they might play him again because he had a lot of success against it, although he's probably seen the fact that we've been underutilising him so far because everyone else has been so good. So
it's quite a nice thing to think if the game's tight, you bring on Kluivert, they're going to go, no.
It's going to be such an interesting game, and I'm just intrigued to see how Newcastle will be after what is always a physical challenge in the Champions League, also like mentally as well. Those games are tough. You're probably wanting our predictions, aren't you? I bet you do. Hold your horses, because there's another video on the way. But if you're listening to the audio pod, just stay where you are, because myself and Tom, we're going to be bringing all things Newcastle to your ears. So fingers crossed we can get the 3 points on Sunday up the Cherries.
Love you, Eddie. Just part of me thinks, does Eddie like true things? They were talking about it. Imagine if Eddie was like not what you think and he's actually like really self-indulgent. Just like loves listening to it.